how does a client, a company, ensure that everything goes right then?
Their practices are going to speak for themselves. For example, there is a company that I read about that their practice was not necessarily to inform their employees about where fire extinguishers were. This company was in a large building, and an employee set a fire inadvertently, didn't know how to find the extinguisher to put it out, ended up having to call 911 as the fire grew. The entire building was evacuated, but because there were employees that were on a higher level floor, they did go to the stairwell, and as they were going down, the firemen were going up, and they were told to stay where they were. The firemen went into the area that had the fire set, and those doors were self-locking. The employees that were in the firewall got stuck within the firewall. 6 employees ended up perishing.
Oh, no.
Over that one small incident. Had a company taken the time to make sure their employees were trained, all of it could have been avoided.
How can companies think about working with their organization to be able to cover all these bases? Because it can seem like a lot. If we're down to talking about signs outside of a wet hallway, there's a lot to think about.
Yes.
So like, whose job is it? How can you start, game planning? And then where does that cross lines with, global mobility?
Mm-hmm. I think documentation is always something that is really important so that everyone knows where to access all of the information. There are so many different potential departments that are involved in duty of care when it comes to legal, risk, HR, mobility. All of those areas have skin in the game, so to speak. There typically should be one overarching company or department that should really take responsibility for the duty of care and keeping that in mind in all of the procedures and practices that are being put in place. The company knows where their employees are, when they're traveling, when they're coming home, what transportation they have chosen. They can do that by requiring different applications to be used for travel. We at NEI use Concur. That's something that other companies have used. And then HR or mobility always knows exactly where their employees are because of that application.